Welcome everyone. My name is Ken. Welcome to the Philly Phandom show. My name is Ken Gray, your host. And today, ladies and gentlemen, is the first ever episode in Philly Phandom history. And I'm hoping one day we can look back and think of this as a great day because it's a day something special started. But that's not for me to decide. That's for God to decide. But anyway, guys, welcome. Welcome again. My name is Ken. I'm the solo host of this show, filming directly from my headquarters, aka my bedroom. But yeah, guys, welcome to the Philly Phandom. This is the show where we talk about everything Philly sports: 76ers, Eagles, Phillies, Flyers. Mostly Sixers and Eagles because the other two teams aren't as big in Philadelphia, but that's beside the point. So if you guys are interested in hearing more about any Phillies team or anything Philly sports related, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. And we're going to get right to it. So we had some big news come from Doug Peterson yesterday for the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is going to be a game preview for Sunday. We're going to have Philadelphia hosting the Saints, 4:25 Eastern Time. We're just going to go right into the Doug Peterson press conference that he had with, let's see what my guy's name is right here. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna pull up the a few minutes from the press conference with Dave Spadaro and Doug Peterson. This was earlier today. We're only gonna show about like a minute or so, just to get the real main topic out the way, just so you guys have a little background of what's going on here. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm just gonna play the audio for you right now, and here we go.
To our weekly one-on-one with head coach Doug Peterson, presented by Wawa. I'm Eagles insider Dave Spadaro. Coach Peterson, how are you today?
Dave, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Good. Hey, it's Tuesday here. I know we have a lot to talk about, particularly about the quarterback position. Let's go back first to Sunday in Green Bay. You made the decision to insert Jaylen Hurts into the lineup. Why did you do that? I know you talked about it on Monday, but just go back to this. Why did you do that? And as you've evaluated his performance, what did you see from Jaylen?
Well, during the game, I just felt like things were they weren't progressing as the offense that I thought we were going to do. We were going to the game plan as it evolved and struggled just a little bit to continue to sustain any kind of movement in the game and so I decided, with just under 8 minutes to go there in the third quarter to insert Jaylen. We always have a plan each week to put Jaylen in the football game, but put him in and let him see what he could do. And really at the time I was looking for that spark, right? And I was looking for that momentum that might change the outcome of the game, or at least change, a possession or two of the game and kind of get us back into it. And decided to keep him in, and obviously had a chance to, gave us an opportunity, scored the touchdown. Obviously, we had the big punt return for a touchdown, and really brought us back into that football game, and is what I was looking for, and I think that's what we were looking for as a football team. So that was the decision there.
All right, so it's been a couple of days now. You said you wanted to take some time to make a decision about who would start Sunday here at Lincoln Financial Field against New Orleans. Have you made a decision on that, and who will it be at quarterback if you have?
Yeah, I wanted to remove myself obviously emotionally from the game on Sunday and spend some time thinking about this week and how we were going to prepare for New Orleans. And so I have come to a decision, and I'm going to go with Jaylen Hurts this week against New Orleans.
Okay, so the rookie gets his first NFL start. Doug, why did you go in that direction? What factors did you take into account to name Jaylen the starter?
Quite honestly, we're not where we want to be as an offense. We know that, and you guys have heard me say this a lot around here in the 5 years that I've been here, and it's never about one person. And we won a championship a couple years ago with a group of men, and it's never about one guy. And so I looked at the whole thing and decided that for this week and to look for that spark again, to try to get the team over the hump, to try to get everybody playing better, right? And obviously the quarterback position is included there. So that's really the decision that I came to, moving forward this week.
Doug, you said on Monday that this decision would be solely yours. Is that the way it went down? Did you seek any input from anybody inside the organization or outside the organization?
I didn't, Dave. I've been around this league a long time. I've played this position, the quarterback position, at the highest level. I've been on some great teams, some championship teams, and I just knew that this decision was going to be mine. I didn't need to talk to anybody else, and so I made this decision on my own.
All right, so that's part of the press conference we had here, or not press conference, more of a just interview, more rather. But there's a few things to take away from this. First of all, you're setting up this guy for failure. You realize that, right, Doug? Or whoever made the decision. I don't know if it's just Doug's decision. I think it's more Jeffrey Lurie or Howie Roseman's decision, because this is a franchise quarterback, if you go based off his contract, of his performance, other than 2017, a little bit 2018, the last month of 2019, Carson Wentz has not been a franchise quarterback. I mean, 2017, he was runner-up for MVP, but he gets injured against the Rams on a run play for the end zone, dives, gets sandwiched between two guys on the dive, tears his ACL, out for the rest of the season. Nick Foles comes in, we know the story of that. But this guy is now the most paid backup in the NFL, and probably in NFL history. $128 million backup. And you're stuck with the guy. If they want to give up on Wentz, they can trade him. And I would love to see if they could find someone to take on that contract, because I don't know who's taking on that contract for the performance he put up this year. He leads the league in fumbles, sacks taken, interceptions, all the negative stats. He leads in. And Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie and all those guys in the office jumped the gun on giving him this extension that kicks in after this year. You saw one good season, and yes, it's a good idea to do it early, because if you do it later, it's going to cost you more, and you can see the contract for quarterbacks now. You see Patrick Mahomes making $500 million. That's ridiculous. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a hell of a player, probably a Hall of Famer in the next 10 years if he continues to play how he's playing and progresses still, because he's still young. But damn, they put Jaylen Hurts in as a starter from New Orleans, the number one defense in the league. They set him up for failure. Yes, he threw a touchdown pass, a nice 47-yard touchdown pass to Greg Ward against the Packers. But that's not the number one defense in the league. You're going up against former Eagle Malcolm Jenkins, who's having a hell of a season. It's the same thing that happened with Dawkins. We traded him, or let him go, let him walk early, and it bit us in the ass. It bit us in the ass. You got Marshawn Lattimore. You got all these guys to worry about in the Saints, and you're putting a rookie in for his first start against the number one defense in the league. Now, mind you, it can't be worse than what Wentz is doing. You can't get worse, but I'm just saying. Say this, ready? So say the plan is they're going to do what they did with Jimmy Garoppolo. They're going to show him off a little bit, put him on the field, get him some film, and they're gonna kind of show him off to other teams, so maybe they can trade him and at least get something back in return. Because I don't see how you're getting out from under this Wentz contract. I really don't. And if you release him or let him go, you're taking a $50 million cap hit next year, and a $20 million cap hit after that. But at the same time, it's not all Wentz's fault. Most of us know this, for the people who actually watch football, but the people who just want to be a Wentz hater, it's he's inaccurate, which is true. He just keeps getting sacked. He's holding on to the ball too long. He's doing this, doing that. No, you need an offensive line to have time in the pocket. It's like Eli Manning on the Giants back in 2013, around that time. The man had 2 seconds in the pocket, or else he was getting his ass whooped. Without an offensive line, a quarterback's not going to have time. If you were watching the Packers-Eagles game, Aaron Rodgers had 7 seconds in the pocket for one of the plays. He was literally standing still. You need an offensive line to protect your quarterback. And all these injuries, yes, it's injuries, but it's not an excuse anymore. The whole league has injuries. Injuries has been the excuse for the past 3 seasons now. 4 seasons, probably more. And the front office isn't doing anything to help them. You pass up on DK Metcalf, a top receiver in the league, in his second year, and you pass up on Justin Jefferson, and you get Jalen Reagor. Like, mind you, Jalen Reagor's fast, and he's good. He's not a bum or nothing. He's good, but if you compare him to Justin Jefferson, it's not the same. And taking Jalen Hurts in the second round just adds more pressure on Carson's back because he already had to win back the locker room twice. He had to win back the locker room after Foles, and he had to win back the locker room after he there was another time he had to win back the locker room. It had something to do with accountability, and it had something to do with leadership issues. And now he's got to do it again. And I feel like he's going to come to the point where he's going to request the trade. And then at that point, you're definitely screwed. Because no one's going to take that contract. Yeah, there might be players or teams that take Wentz, but they're not going to want to take the contract. They're not going to do that. I'm not doing that. $128 million for that? For leading the league in all the negative categories? I'm good. I'll pass. I'll pass on that one. And like Jalen Hurts, I think he's a good player. He played for Oklahoma. He got taken out for Tua, but then he came back at a different school in a big game and made up for it. So I feel like Hurts kind of understands what it's like to be in Wentz's position. You know, with that looking over your shoulder, getting pulled out. Now I don't think that they're gonna keep Wentz out for the rest of the season. I think they're kind of do what they did with Donovan. They're gonna pull him out for the game. They're gonna let him clear his head, kind of watch it from a third person point of view on what's going on. And then maybe he'll get his head right. Maybe he comes back and starts balling out. Or they just keep Hurts in for the rest of the season and then just say, Wentz, listen, we're just going to give him the rest of the season. We're not going to go for the playoffs, even though this horrible, horrible division, it's still winnable somehow, some way. But, you know, after the way New York and Washington have been playing, I'm not going to be surprised if we don't make it. But I don't really want to make it. I don't. For two reasons. One, you're going to make the playoffs. The NFC East is literally a race to get whooped in the first round. That's it. Any four of these teams is not going to make it past the first round. You get into the wild card, and it's over. Home field or not. Now, I don't know how you have a record like that and get a home field advantage. I'm sorry. I don't. NFL needs to fix something on that. That's crazy. Like, the Eagles are holding a third place in the division. 3-8-1. And that tie has been staring at me ever since that Bengals game, and how do you tie to the Bengals? After that game, that's when I was starting to think, I was like, are we even going to make the playoffs this year? And then look at our division. Got the Cowboys with the worst defense in NFL history. You got Washington. That's just Washington at the time. You got New York. Who cares about New York? They haven't been good since 2012. 2010. Come on. And at first, I was about squeezing through to the playoffs. You know, get a fourth consecutive playoff appearance. But then, I'm one of those people that want Howie Roseman going. And if you make the playoffs, that's going to give them a reason to justify keeping him. And that brings me back to my other point about the draft. As of right now, I believe we hold... I forget exactly what pick we hold right now with this record. Obviously, it's going to change. But I'm looking at these. I'm looking at these next upcoming games. You got the Saints, and you got the Cardinals, and you got the Cowboys, and then Washington. Now, there's that Cowboys and Washington game I can see as winning because the Cowboys are trash, and Washington, even though they beat us the first time, it was week one. You never know. Week ones are always funny. But the Saints and the Cardinals, hell no. Darius Slay's getting all banged up all season, getting torn up by DK Metcalf, which isn't really his fault because they left him on an island with him. Jim Schwartz saying, I put him out there by himself, and it allowed us to do other stuff to worry about Russell Wilson and some other stuff, Tyler Lockett. Even though Tyler Lockett had like 5 receptions that game, he didn't really do much. He had like 45 yards. DK Metcalf had like, 140? 143? Something like that. Like, Darius Slay has had the hardest schedule in his career. Hardest schedule in his career. As far as like the last 3 or 4 games go. He go against DK Metcalf. I'm not sure who he went up against in the Browns before that. But the Browns have some receivers. I don't think Odell wasn't in the game at the time. I don't believe so. I don't remember seeing him on the field. But I don't really follow Odell Beckham anymore. You know, he's kind of not the same player in my eyes as he was in New York. But yeah, he had DK Metcalf against the Seahawks. He had Jamal Adams against the Packers. He's gonna have Michael Thomas against the Saints, and the next week he's got D-Hop. Like, this dude is banged up going against the top receivers in the league. And then against the Cowboys, he's probably going to go up against CD or Michael Gallup or Amari Cooper, all of which are pretty good receivers. Now, mind you, they don't have a good quarterback that throw the ball to the receivers, but still, like, if a player gets that open, it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. If they're open to an extent, anyone can throw a ball to an open man, like a wide open man. But I mean, we traded away what for him? We traded the 85th overall pick and the 166th, a third and a fifth, and we thought that was gonna make up for the Malcolm Jenkins thing. Like, no, and I knew it was gonna happen too. He was gonna go to the Saints. He was gonna ball out. It was gonna be just like B-Doc all over again. Like, what? Why is our front office doing all of this dumb stuff? I really don't get it. Howie Roseman needs to go, but I really don't think they're going to let go of him. Because Jeffrey Lurie has a really good relationship with him. It's the same thing with Jim Schwartz. It's relationships that are keeping everybody with their jobs. Relationships are their job security right now. Not the performance. And that's not how it should be. I don't care if you're my best friend. If you're not good at your job, and my job is to have a winning football team, I'm letting you go. I'm sorry. And if you're gonna hate me over that's on you. I'm doing my job. I need you to do yours. Man, they're really gonna set up this kid for failure. And the part that sucks is, he's gonna go out there and he's gonna get killed. And then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Jason Hurts is a bum. Jason Hurts sucks. Oh, we really don't have a quarterback now." Like, why didn't you put him out during a game against another team? Let Carson go out there and stink it up for one more game. Put him up against the Cardinals. Put him against the Cowboys, the Washington football team, the team that doesn't even have a name. Like in the Packers game, it was like, if you look at the game when Hurts was in, it was the same stuff. The receivers can't get separation. We're not running the ball. Miles Sanders had 10 touches in the whole game. He got 5 in the first quarter. And then saw like five more carries throughout the rest of the game. Like, why are we not running the ball? Our quarterbacks clearly suck. Or quarterbacks as in the Carson this year. So why are we still passing the ball? Like, Hurts is going to go out there on Sunday. I mean, I'm not going to guarantee that he's going to do bad, but based off of, on paper, who he's going up against and statistics, he's going to get cooked. Our receivers can't get open. The offensive line can't block nobody. Like, the same thing in the Packers game. The dude's running for his life. Like, he's fighting for first downs with his own legs. There's no one to throw to. And yeah, he had that nice dot to Rager, put it right in the breadbasket. And then he had another dot to Greg Ward. But the only difference between Wentz and Hurts is it's the same stuff on the field, but one's faster. That is it. One is faster. And one's not panicking because he hasn't got hit 75 times this year. And that's not Carson's fault. Well, yes, some of the times he held onto the ball too long, all that, yada, yada, yada. But 90% of it falls on the offensive line. Protect your quarterback. That's what you're paid for. Like Jason Peters, man, don't even get me started on that dude. He should have been gone a long time ago. Brought him back because we had to. And even then, you didn't even have to bring him back. You got Jordan Mailata killing it. Then you're going to move him when Peters comes back. And don't even get me started on the contract thing where he wanted an extra $7 million, whatever it was, just to move to the other side of the line. I don't care if it's a harder position. You're already on contract. Be a grown-ass man and do what you're told for your job. Like, I swear, some of these NFL players are kids, bro. Oh, this isn't the position I signed a contract for, so I want more money. Why? So you can suck at another position? If you was tearing it up at your main position, I would understand. But you went over to left guard, And you didn't guard nothing but your paycheck. They call you the bodyguard. You should be fired. This is ridiculous. The Eagles just have so many things wrong this year. It's unfathomable. That was a big word. Wow. But yeah, this Eagles Saints game, I'm not too optimistic. In that Cardinals game, I'm not too optimistic either. I say the best record this team ends with, man, give them 4-12. 4-12. Beat the Cowboys, lose to everybody else. I'll give them 5-11. It's not gonna win the division. It's not gonna win a division. Cause Washington gonna win another game. I guarantee you Washington gonna win another game. Washington been balling out. I never thought I'd see Washington ball out like that. They beat the Steelers? And the Giants beat the Seahawks? Come on, man. Like, if Washington beats us, that's it. And I don't care, but I do care. Because say we make the playoffs. I doubt they're going to play Jaylen in the playoffs. They're going to put Wentz in for that. And I want him to get playoff reps. But at the same time, what's the point of making the playoffs just to get a man reps who's been so ass he doesn't even deserve to be in the playoffs? That's the part I don't get. And then the other side of me is like, go for the draft pick. But then you got Howie drafting the players, so what's the matter? Dude can't draft. He can't. Like, it's the front office, man. They're just not putting this man in the position to succeed. They're not putting Jalen Hurts in the position to succeed. Running gadget plays with him the whole season. They drafted this dude and didn't even know what they were going to do with the guy. Who does that? Like, I was thinking they were going to draft wide receiver. Or at least wide receiver, O-line, corner, something. Like, mix it up. Why are we drafting positions where we already have players in place that we're paying 6 figures to? This team doesn't, the front office does not know what they are doing. And it shows. But if I'm Carson Wentz at this point, man, if Jalen Hurts goes out there and balls and I get benched for the rest of the season, honestly, if I'm him after the season, I'm requesting a trade. Put me in a system where I am going to succeed. Oh, this team. It really gives you headaches. I don't even know. Like the Packers game, we should have won that, honestly. Yeah, you had Jaylen throw a dot down the field to Greg Ward. Actually, that's a fun fact, too, right there. Wentz hasn't thrown a 40-yard pass. I think he's thrown 1 all season. Jalen Hurts threw 2 in his first game. And one of which was a touchdown. Second-round draft pick for a quarterback. Which I like Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to lie. Don't get me wrong. I like Jalen Hurts. But I also don't like when my team's idiotic. You got Jalen Hurts for 5 years. 5 years. If I'm the Eagles and I'm doing this from a business standpoint, I'm going to do this, what I said earlier. I'm going to do what they did with Garoppolo. I'm going to advertise him a little bit. I'm going to get him on the field, get him some reps, get him some highlights. And then I'm going to flip him. Because Carson Wentz can't, he's not going to be what he was in 2017 with this dude looking over his shoulder. He can't. He even came out and said he doesn't like being benched. He doesn't like it. And no quarterback's going to like being benched. I mean, at least he still got that paycheck. Shit. He still got that to look forward to. Getting paid how many $1,000s a game to sit. Ain't that crazy? And I feel like that's the reason that it took them so long to bench the guy. Because when you're giving a man that much money and you have a rookie backup, how much worse could it get? You might as well just play the man making $128 million. You already got him locked up. Just like you locked up with Alshon Jeffrey. Unless you find someone to take his bum ass. And I don't see that either. The dude has 2 receptions in the last 3-4 games that he's been back. Like, this team and these contracts, it's worse than the Sixers with that Al Horford contract and that Tobias contract. What is up with Philly owners and Philly general managers? I hope the first thing Daryl Morey did when he got up in that office is smack Elton Brand across the bald ass head. What the hell are you thinking giving that old ass can of paint $109 million to average 5 points per game? Clog up the paint. Man, I'm getting off track. This ain't about the Sixers. But we on the Eagles right now. We on the Eagles' ass. And as for Doug Peterson, man, that play calling dude, we gotta work something out about that. We need the jet sweeps. We need more runs. We need more play action and stop with his 6-step dropbacks. With this O-line, you can't be doing this play where you gotta have read West Coast plays. You can't. I get that's his scheme, but without a line, what's that scheme matter? By the time you get to your second read, you already gotta start running. And then when Wentz takes his eyes down off the receivers, you're dead. Once you take your head down and you stop looking at your receivers, you might as well just drop. Unless you're Russell Wilson and you have time to look up and still throw a nice ass dot on the run, Wentz ain't doing that. He's not doing that. Things that we need to get right. We need to get this line right. Our secondary is still terrible. Avonte Maddox, always undersized against his opponent. Darius Slay getting banged up every week. And mind you, Slay's a good player. Do you put him in that Jalen Ramsey conversation? No. Jalen Ramsey will shut down your best wide receiver. But Darius Slay, though, he was good in Detroit. He was great in Detroit. But he's getting banged up out there. He was having a great season up to this point until the Seahawks game, but he wasn't going up against the best receivers in the game really at the time. Like, think about it. He was going against... We were playing Washington. Or no, that's a lie. No, we did play Washington. I lied. Let's see. Played Washington. Then we played the Rams, the Bengals, 49ers, who were injured to hell. Steelers. I don't know if he was on Claypool or if he was on Juju or who he was on. Then we had the Ravens. They probably put him on Willie Snead or someone, one of the faster guys. I'm not sure. But, like, these aren't receivers that you really be worried about. I mean, Claypool tore us up with 3 touchdowns. Yeah, you had the Giants, you had the Cowboys, you had the Giants again. Giants should have swept us, dog. I'm not lying. That first game, we was one drop pass away from losing that game. If that tight end could catch, we would have been straight. Or we would have been dead, actually. Not straight. Opposite to that. Then we had the Browns. Then we had Seahawks and the Packers. And now here we are at the Saints on Sunday. But this team, man, there's so much wrong. And I hope what happens with Donovan back in 2000 or 2008, whatever year that was, happens with Carson. He gets sat. He sees what's going on. He's like, wow, I need to take some accountability. I need to step up and do what I can to help this team win. And I hope he comes back and balls. If we make a playoff spot because of him, then I'll be fine. If we make a playoff spot because of Jaylen, I don't know how I'm going to be. And I don't know how Carson's going to be. Because it's going to be foes all over again. Wentz gets out. In this case, it's a bench, not an injury. But if Jaylen's balling, why would they take him out? Unless they don't want to make the playoffs. Then that's another story. But I'm saying, say they ride all the way to the playoffs with Jalen Hurts. Then what's next? Are we going to try to move on from Carson? Or are we going to bench the guy that just balled out? Just because he's the backup. Or was the backup. You got rid of Foles. You kept Carson. And neither of which are doing good. Foles is stinking it up in Chicago. He not doing too hot. Not as bad as Carson, but I'm just saying. Like, this team has a lot that they got to worry about. And it starts with the quarterback. It starts with the O-line. It starts with the coach. and the owner, or not the owner, the GM, Jeffrey Lurie, I don't have much of a problem with. Howie Roseman, though, that little weasel has got to go. The dude can't draft. He's good with money. That's it. He's good with free agents. That's it. That's the only reason we won the Super Bowl in 2017. He got 1 year free agents that helped us out. LeGarrette Blount, all those guys. And then when it comes to the draft, he stinks the joint up. Like, man, I don't even know what to think about this team anymore, guys. I'm torn between two things: Carson Wentz or Jaylen Hurts. We'll see more about that when the Saints game happens on Sunday. And then the other thing I'm torn on is, do we want to make the playoffs or do we want to get this draft pick? Because I don't trust Howie Roseman. I don't. But man, it's gonna be it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We will be back, not tomorrow, but the next day. New episode every other day. And you guys have a good one. All right.